guys, I'm so excited to be bringing you all with me today to Universal Studios. Right now, everyone is heading into the brand new theme park here in Orlando, Epic Universe. We'll be going there next month, and trust me, I cannot wait to take you with me. But today, we're keeping it old school, the classic, Universal Studios. And I'm going to show you exactly why I love this park so much. This park has so many little details that make it special, from the music that hits you the moment you walk in, and that excitement in the air. It's next level. There's just something that brings out the best version of me. I've got a few favorite spots I can't wait to take you to, like Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, the theming is next level. Then there's the Hollywood area, and there's rides like Revenge of the Mummy. It's like a movie set, but that moves. And if you've been feeling like you're too old for theme parks, no, this is joy, and it's for all of us. So walk with me, ride with me, and let's spend the day living fully and fearlessly. Let's have some real fun. We stayed at Sapphire Falls, and honestly, it's one of our favorite hotels at Universal. There's just something about the vibe. It's tropical, peaceful, and just far enough from the crowds that it feels like a little escape, but still close to all the fun. Every time we stay here, we find ourselves falling in love with it all over again. From the calm blue tones of the lobby to the lush greenery outside, it just feels good. It's the kind of place where you can exhale. One of the best parts, hands down, taking the boat over to the parks in the morning. There's something so simple and beautiful about it. We'll grab our morning coffee, take our time walking to the dock, and just let the day start slow. As soon as that boat pulls away from the dock, I feel it, that sense of peaceful excitement. The water gently rippling around us, the palm trees swaying, and that first glimpse of the park coming into view across the lagoon is honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole trip. The weather today is absolutely perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, just that ideal middle ground with the slightest breeze. It was the kind of weather where you don't even think about it because it just feels right. You know those rare days when everything just aligns, the mood, the air, the energy, the company, it all clicks. That's how it felt. We weren't rushed, we weren't overwhelmed, we were just in it, in the moment, together, grateful, and so ready to enjoy the day. I always say that joy is in the little things. And for us, this quiet boat ride, this peaceful morning, this perfect weather, it was joy. And it set the tone for what ended up being an incredible day at Universal. My husband and I are theme park enthusiasts, no question about it. We love the energy, the magic, the food, the rides, the laughter, all of it. Even though our kids are mostly grown now, that hasn't stopped us from chasing joy. You know, some people think theme parks are just for families with little ones or teenagers, like once your kids grow up, it's time to sit still and settle down. But for us, we believe fun doesn't have an expiration date. We're living our best life right now, in midlife, doing what makes our hearts feel alive. And honestly, that's what life is about. Not just about slowing down, but waking up to what lights you up, what makes you smile, what makes you feel present. And for us, that joy just happens to live in places like Universal Studios, where we can be silly, nostalgic, adventurous, and free. Because this is our time too, and we're going to make the most out of it. Okay, guys, we had to hit the Wicked tribute store first, and let me just say it did not disappoint. The moment I walked in, I was like, whoa, they really did an amazing job creating this immersive little world right here towards the front of the park. The theming was beautiful. It was whimsical, it was also dark, it was pink, it was green, it was moody. It felt like you were stepping into a chapter of the story before the curtain even rises. Everything was so detailed, from the props to the lighting to the music playing in the background. You could tell they really wanted fans of Wicked to feel something when they walked through. I knew about this movie, I saw it, and I actually really loved it. And like so many things for me lately, it hit differently in this season of life for me. The whole idea of two women misunderstood, underestimated, and labeled too soon, finding their own truth, their own voice. Yeah, that speaks to me now more than ever. Going back to this tribute store, the merchandise in the store was really fun. Like I said, there was plenty of green, lots of pink, lots of Glinda, lots of alphabet moments, and everything from t shirts to books to themed snacks to trinkets to all of it. But for me, it wasn't even about the merchandise, it was the atmosphere, the storytelling, the way it made me slow down and reflect. Because sometimes you walk into a place expecting a quiet little shop and you walk out feeling something deeper. I think that's what I love about Universal in general. They're not just creating rides and stores, they're creating moments. And for someone like me who's all about living fully and finding meaning in the little things, yeah, I felt that for sure. And I felt that here. So if you're coming to Universal, guys, definitely make a stop at the Wicked Trivia Store. Even if you're not a die-hard fan, just walk through it. Let yourself get swept up in the vibe. Because who knows, you might find a little piece of your own story hidden in here too. Okay, my friends, so this was my first time seeing the new DreamWorks Land at Universal Studios. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. The colors, the music, the energy, it was just so fun, so lighthearted, so playful, and full of personality. You've got Trolls, you've got Shrek, you've got Kung Fu Panda, all the DreamWorks characters that you kind of forget how much you loved until you see them come in front of you. Like I was walking around thinking, wait a minute, this is so adorable. Now, I know this area is geared more towards children, but let me tell you something. Joy doesn't care how old you are. If you let yourself soak it in, this place will have you smiling for no reason. And that's the kind of energy I'm always here for. My favorite part in this little land is just watching everyone. Parents, grandparents, even grown folks without children. They're laughing, they're dancing, they're living in the moment. It reminded me that healing doesn't always have to be deep and heavy. Sometimes healing is just letting yourself enjoy something simple and sweet. So yes, I absolutely recommend walking through DreamWorks Land. Even if you don't write a single thing, just be there. Let yourself take it in. You never know what part of your inner child might show up to say, hey. watching the little children just laugh and just be in living in the present moment. That reminds me, guys, we need to do the same always. The joy in the little children, just wanting to splash in water, just wanting to be happy, live freely, and just fully in the present. I never really cared much for Harry Potter when the Wizarding World first opened at Universal. I mean, I was impressed, no doubt. The design, the detail, the way they brought the books to life, it's incredible. But I hadn't read the books or seen the movies, so it didn't hold any personal meaning for me. I walk through Hogsmeade or Diagon Alley and think, wow, this is beautiful. But that was about it. I just didn't get it. Not the way the fans did, anyway. That all changed when my youngest bonus son convinced me to watch the first movie. And from the moment the music started, something in me shifted. It wasn't just a story, it was a feeling, a whole world I didn't even know I needed. Now, coming to this part of the park hits different these days. Every time I step into Diagon Alley or ride the Hogwarts Express, I feel like I'm part of something magical, something I once overlooked. I'm still catching up. I have about 3 or 4 movies left to watch, but I'm already hooked. There's a depth to the story, a sense of wonder, and bravery that just pulls you in. And honestly, there's something really special about falling in love with a fandom later in life. It reminds me that new passions, new joys, and new chapters can start anytime, especially in midlife. So now, when I walk through this part of the park, it's not just impressive, it's personal, it's magical. I don't know what it is, but this part of Wizarding World where it gets a little darker, a little quieter, it always hits me. There's just something about it. That shift from the bright, noisy park to this calm, shadowy space, it feels symbolic, you know? Almost like life. Like how sometimes we have to walk through a little darkness before we find our light again, before we remember what magic feels like. It slows you down. You start to notice things, stuff you'd miss if you were rushing. The glow of the lanterns on the walls, the sound of footsteps echoing through the stone. It's immersive, yeah, but also kind of intimate, if you let it be. There are seasons where things feel unclear, unfamiliar, like you're walking through the dark, not sure where it's all going. But if you just keep walking, if you stay curious, eventually you'll find yourself in a whole new world you didn't even know was waiting for you. And that, my friends, that's real magic. I always thought the Macy's Holiday Parade at Universal was my favorite, but the Mega Movie Parade, This one might have just topped it. There was something about the music, the characters, the energy. It brought out so much nostalgia. I think I may have cried a little. I mean, from that overwhelming kind of cry, that kind of joy that hits you when you're fully present. It reminded me that joy doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's just standing on a curb, hand in hand with someone you love, watching movie magic roll by. Guys, this parade was everything. I told my husband that we need to come soon. We need to come back to Universal Studios, and I will literally just stay there to watch this parade again. And then we can go visit the other parks. It was just that good.
Where? Back to the future? Well, that would relate.
This stage is about to explode with major piggy power!
After the mega movie parade, I was still riding that high. You know those moments that just stay with you, where your heart feels wide open and you're completely in the moment? So much so that you almost forgot the rest of the world exists? Yeah, it was one of those moments. The music, the energy, the memories stirred up. I was floating. I told my husband that might have been the most beautiful parade I've ever seen. And for a while, I just wanted to sit in that feeling. You don't always get moments like that, so when you do, you hold on to them. But even in the magic, I knew we had to head back because waiting at the hotel was someone who's always part of my joy, my sweet boy Aladdin. So I took off my sneakers and put on my flippies, grabbed the leash, and we stepped out into that golden hour light together. And honestly, it was the most peaceful way to end such a high energy day. There's something sacred about walking your dog after a day like that. The world slows down, you breathe a little deeper. And in that quiet little moment, just me, him, my husband, and the warm Florida breeze, I felt so grounded. It was the reminder I didn't know I needed. That joy isn't only in the big, exciting, colorful moments, it's also in the small ones, the simple ones, the ones that bring you back to yourself. We laughed, we screamed, we ate too much, and it was everything I needed. I'm not the same woman who used to hold herself back. I've walked away from a lot, and every step forward has led me here. Living fully, living freely, living empowered. So if no one's told you today, you're allowed to enjoy your life, even after the storm, even in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Thank you for coming with me today. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending the day with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.